Okay, in this video, we will do a simulation. So this simulation is, let's play again. Let's roll a dice. So when you have rolled a die, we just say that the 6-number die, you have 1, 2, 6. If my number is bigger than you lose. You pay me $1. On the other hand, if your number is bigger, I pay you $1. Otherwise, the same, do nothing. So how to do that? The first thing, we need to find a way to simulate 2 dice rolls, right? Yeah, on the other hand, actually, we can write a function to do 1 dice roll. So then we do twice. One time is yours outcome, then the other one is my outcome. Then we need to decide who win or who lose. So at the end, compute how many money we owe each other. That's me. Actually, only one person win, right? So then, yeah, you just say how much you win. So we want to do actually, not only one time, we want to do the rolling the dice for 10,000 times. Then we see who will win. So let's do step by step, okay? So the first thing, actually, we just see, we see how to decide who will win. Oh, yeah, either way. You see, this one, I think let's do, the first one, how to rolling a dice. Okay, so simulate to rolling a dice. Rolling a die. Actually, we just need to give them, because outcome is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Right, just create an array. We call that the die faces. So that's 1, 2, 6. Okay, so then you just see, yeah, that's wrong. Okay, so that's 4. So if we want to see right, so we display the dice. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So then you see that's 4. Okay, so not enough, right? So we just have one, how to roll the die, and also we want to see how to decide who win, right? Okay, so actually in this, our file didn't arrange very well. So then actually we come back to see here. Okay, so or I just write again. Okay, so how to see who will win or not. So that's why each round I need to have 2 values. We just have the first one is my roll. The second one is your result. You and me. Okay. So then here on this one, actually we can, yeah, we can remove the first 3. Okay. So actually you have 1 round. Okay. So the first argument is my number. The second argument is your number. If I win, see, I'm greater than yours, then we just return 1. If yours greater than mine, I return -1 because I owe you $1. Otherwise, you see, just return 0. Okay? So then you see here, if we both are 1, yeah, 0. If I greater than you, okay, so here actually just the example, they say 7, but since we say we really want to do the dice, okay, so then we just have 5 and the 6. Okay, so you win. So after we have this one, we call 1 round, right? Okay, so one thing is we just apply this one on earlier our dice simulation. Okay, we define another function. Okay, so if we want, let me copy over again. Below here. Okay, so let me copy over this one. Okay. So that will be better. We see this one only. Okay. So here is just decide who win, who lose. So now we just simulate just 1 time. So that's why in order to get my roll, I need to run 1 time. Remember earlier we just have our array defined. So then you have np random.choice, then run the dice. So then I got my number. If you didn't specify, they just run 1 time. So you call again, you got your row. Okay, so then I just passing my row and your row. So we got the 1 round, right? Okay, just define. Okay, so then we do 1 time. Okay, so actually this time, oh yeah, we are even. Okay, so you see how many times you want to run. Okay, you just run. But one thing is, like earlier we said, how many times we need to run? We need to run 10,000 times. We cannot just enter all the time here, right? Okay, so that's why here, in order to run 10,000 times, we want to show you another control statement. So this control statement for statements, usually we call that iteration. Because your for is a keyword. They begin a multi-line for statement. Execute a for statement, perform one computation for every element in a list or an array. A common special case is to perform computation a fixed number of times. What does that mean? Okay, so here is the for statement. When you have for, then you have a variable name in an array or a list. They are okay with the list. Then you do something. Okay, so actually it depends on how many elements in the array. That means how many times you will run. So that's easier to see the example to help you understand better. Okay, so when you have a for statement, okay, so we just say, for example, I have a pet. Okay, so this pet can be cat, can be dog, can be rabbit. So that's why I make an array for that. So that's why when every time, yeah, actually I have 3 pets. I have cats, I have dog, I have rabbit. I want to display, I love my cat, I love my dog, I love my rabbit. So instead you copy 3 times. Yeah, you can do for loop. Okay, so here is, you see that we say that for each item in the array. So this item, actually, we just say pets is more meaningful. But this one just, you can use in any variable name you like. So then they were using, here we just print. Because I want to print, I love my pets. So pets can be replaced from every value from the array. So I love cat, I love dog, I love rabbit. Okay. So this one just similar like this. You have an array. You just do first item, second item, and the third item. Then you do the print. Yeah, you just say here, actually, your for loop equivalent to this one. You have your array. Then you put the item 1, the first item in the pad, second item in the pad. Then you just display one by one. Okay. So that's the for loop. So on the other hand, if I want to do is, I want to do here our, okay, so we see here is our game earlier, right? Okay, so we just do our simulation for our game. Okay, so remember earlier we need to do many times. Okay, so for example, now the same thing, we can just using the for loop earlier we have. So we just say we just want to do 10 times. So we can use arrange. We do 10 times. So for loop, for I in each one. So here maybe we just do the print only. Okay, we just print our outcome. Okay, so you see they print 10 times. But print 10 times, actually we cannot process our data, right? So what actually we want to do is, we want to have our result actually better in an array and do 10 times, right? So in order to do that, we need to introduce you another thing. We can append something to an array. That's what we call appending arrays. So how to appending arrays? You have 2 different ways. The first, there still is the NumPy append. They have 2 parameters. The first parameter is the original array. If we just passing a value, they add this value to end of the array. So the new array will have the value append to the array 1. Of course, the array need to be the same type. So that's why value has to be the same type as the element of the array 1. Or you want to append not only one value, you want to append a whole array to the end of the first array. So the new array with array 2 will append to array 1. the same thing. Don't forget, make sure they will have the same data type for both array. So in order to append array, that's why we need to use that, so we can have our dice every time the outcome we add to the previous array result. So the first thing that I see here, we just see an example. We create a first array. You see a range 4. So then we have 0, 1, 2, 3. So then we just have second. Then that will be 10 to 16. So then we have first is 4. First is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So we append 6 to the end. So that's why I have 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. So then you will see, right, first like this. But first, first didn't change. The reason is what? I didn't reassign. We didn't reassign. So if you want to reassign, you need to make sure here, for example, you need to reassign first equal to this. So that's why when you run again, okay, your first actually become like this. Okay. Otherwise, the same thing. When you append first to second to the first, but you didn't reassign first and second, they didn't change. So if we want to have the new array, you need to assign to somewhere else. So that will help us to do our result is what? Remember earlier, we want to have our simulation each run. Okay, so that's why we can create an empty array. Okay, so then we run one time and we append to the result. And don't forget, you need to reassign to the original array name. Okay, so that's why you have the first one is 0. So when you do one more time, right, they have twice, right? So now, do you know how to roll your dice 10,000 times and know who will win? Okay, so pause the video before you really see the answer. So you ready to check your answer? Right, so here we have our gain outcome. We make an array. So that's why here just do 5 times, we see the result. Okay, so right, so every time you run one time, so we call the numpy append. We have the new value append to our existing array, then assign the new array to the original array name. Okay, so that's we get the 5 times. So now if you want to do, so it depends on how many times you want to do. So then you can do 10 times, 100 times. But then here just we do the 10,000 times. Okay, but you see that's a big number. But one thing is we check the length. They did have 10,000 times. Okay, but it's not good enough, right? Because what do we want? We want to know who win and how many times, right? So if you want to know how much you win or when you win, you just see here we create a column. Okay, so then we create a table with a column, my winning and the result. Then we see the result. Okay, so my winning actually including my lose as well. But anyway, that's all your number. Okay, so then if you just want to see your winning, okay, so that's why we group that. Okay, so then you have, we group because we have 3 values. Okay, that's a bar chart. So then you have -1, 0, that's you lose. Kind of, you see, still you don't know. And you don't know how much money you owe, right? Okay, so how should we find out how much money I win or I owe? So that's all depends on what you want to know. If you really care how many times you win, how many times you win, how many times you lose, how many times gain, we can do the bar chart. Then, in order to know how much money you got, so that's why here we can do is money. We got the sum of our game outcome, right? Because our game outcome, you win is positive, is 1. You lose is -1. So it's times 0. So if we find the sum together, okay, so that's not the outcome. Let me see. Gain outcomes. Okay, let me copy over. Okay. So then you will get your result to know how much you win. Okay, then we need to, of course, display the money. Oh, yeah, I win $52. Okay, so that's our lecture 13.